Hey, Andy here from builderhottub.com. In this video, we're going to catch up with Patrick in Wisconsin and his DIY hot tub and cold plunge build. So let's go ahead and take a look. In the last video, we had an introduction to Patrick's hot tub and cold plunge build. He's building it in his basement at his home in Wisconsin, and he's very kindly recorded some of his thought processes and his planning for the next stage of the build. So what I'm going to do is actually hand over to Patrick and he can explain a little bit more about what's going on. Now, before I do that, always a great opportunity to say, please do subscribe to the channel, hit that notification icon to be notified when my videos go live. I do long form content every single week, a whole bunch of shorts, and everything on my channel focuses on DIY hot tubs, plunge pools, parts, and pretty much everything in between. So with that out of the way, Patrick, I'm going to hand over to you.
So they say failing to plan is planning to fail. You can kind of see some of our old tape lines that we had down here. They're real faint because they got worn off when we had the concrete installed. But basically just trying to look at and plan, because we have such a tight space. This area over here is where the cold tank is going to be. That's the footwell for the cold tank. And this area right here is where the hot tub is going to be. And that's the footwell for the hot tub. The little orange spots are the two jets on one side and two jets on the other. Those are still taped over. And then you can see there's 3 drains in the bottom. Those 2 drains are our high flow drains for the jet pumps, and then that's a low flow drain for our sand filter pump. But of course, all that plumbing has to go somewhere, and how we're doing our construction is with 4-inch blocks. So you can see I have some of those samples just set up there, like dry set. Don't have any mortar in it right now, but that is the low flow hot tub drain. That's the low flow cold tank drain. Those are our 2 electricals for our lights that are going to be in the 2 footwells. And then this is the high flow drain and the jet lines, the blower line and the water line for the jets that are in the lower tank, or in the lower footwell for the hot tub. So the challenge is, space-wise, I have just over 6 inches between here because I left just enough room for my jet housings. So this drain line has to go out to the other side of this wall. You can actually see a hole there that ran through for our old temporary setup we used to have with a couple of stock tanks. But I have to figure out how I'm going to route all this plumbing and how it's all going to get through the wall to the other side where the control room is. And then once on the control room side, how it's all going to route to get to the pumps and get back. So not only do I have to run all these 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lines have to go through the wall to run over to the pumps, because we have a cold pump, cold tank pump, filter pump, and circulation pump, and then we have a hot tub, filter pump, and circulation pump, and then we have a hot tub jet pump for the jets. There'll be 16 jets in the hot tub when it's all said and done, 4 in the bottom and 12 on the top, 3 in each wall. So, or 3, 3, 2, and 2, or something like that. Maybe it's, I don't know. I'm not going to do the math in my head right now. Anyways, I have a diagram of that all laid out. But basically right now, I am trying to figure out, I think probably these 2 will have to go straight through on the bottom there. And then these will have to go through 2 of them. This one I can probably come over and run these 2 through. And then this one will have to come up a little more and go through. So those will probably all go through. But I also have to return back a cold tank jet line, as well as the hot tub jet, upper jets have to come through here as well. So I have to make sure that I have enough space, you know, enough height wise that I can distribute all those through the wall to ensure that everything works appropriately. So it's going to be interesting planning it and getting it all put in. There'll be more to come with that and figuring it all out. But the biggest thing really is just really having to plan that ahead and figure out how it's all going to fit within that cavity. Once we're done with all that and all the plumbing is run, we'll fill the majority of that 6-inch cavity with spray foam up till just below the top block, and then we'll cap it off with cement, and then it's going to be tiled on top. So yeah, anyways, it's going to be a fun puzzle to figure it all out and get it through the wall and over to the control room. So a follow-up to my earlier video about what I was trying to figure out for plumbing and where it was going to go and how it was all going to go through the wall, because making a lot of little holes like that was going to be tough and getting it all to fit with the 6 inches between the wall was a little bit of a challenge. So the solution was renting a cement saw, using proper safety equipment, a very good breather mask, headphones, gloves, glasses, and a bodysuit to keep the dust off. And then hanging some plastic and things to control the dust as much as possible, because this is inside of our basement. But about 20 minutes worth of work with a cement saw to cut it all out, cut the holes, and you can see that's in line with our plumbing. So basically just cut that hole out. You can actually see that is our cold tank pump on the other side, and the plastic still hung over there. But that is our cold tank pump, and that will be one of the plumbing things that's coming through the wall. But you can see we had plastic hung right here, and you can actually see the line, how much dust. Even though a lot of dust escaped, there was a lot of dust contained within that. So if you're ever cutting cement, I highly recommend lots of protective things to contain it as much as possible and to keep your eyes and the rest of your body clean. But works well, should work well. I'm looking forward to getting the walls started and getting the plumbing started through that. And then when that's done, we'll fill that cavity back in. Note, this wall is pretty thick. This used to be an exterior wall, and at one point before we owned the house, somebody put an addition on, and it's no longer an exterior wall. So it was a foot thick. So I had to cut it from both sides with the saw, but did that, was able to get it out, and no concerns here in terms of with where we cut and took out. I'm not concerned about that compromising structure. We'll fill that back in with extra cement once we're done and we have all the pipes through, and that will seal back up. So looking forward to that and getting that all done.
Patrick, thanks ever so much for sharing those videos with us. As always, I hope you found this short video useful. I appreciate the view. Thanks ever so much for watching, and I will see you on the next video. If you've liked this video, please do like, share, and subscribe to the channel. I'll see you on the next video.